Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to lesson 5 of our Arabic grammar course. Inshallah, this is our last lesson of first module. And remember, in our first module, we are learning 4 properties of ism. Alhamdulillah, we have completed 3 properties up till now. Inshallah, today, as you can see on the screen, we'll study the 4th property of ism, and there are two small topics inshallah. One is how to recognize ism just by sight, and last one, what are the pronouns in Arabic language. Okay, so let's inshallah begin with the first topic, and that is 4th property of ism, and that is called type or al-qism, or sometimes it's also called wusa, wusatun, which means simply is ism common or is it proper. Okay, let's inshallah begin. So point number 1, default position of ism is common. Ism will be proper only if it falls in 7 categories, or any of the 7 categories inshallah, which we're going to see in a minute. The word in Arabic language for common is nakiratun, and word for proper is ma'arifatun. I'm not expecting from you at this early stage to know all of these terms, but just to be familiar with these terms. So common and proper. Okay. Now, what are the categories of proper? Look at this screen. Number 1, words with alif lam. This alif lam is attached in the start of ism, and this attachment of alif lam in the start, it makes the ism proper. And the technical term for this alif lam is lamu ta'arif. Okay, now this is the most visible sign of ism being proper. And secondly, any ism can be made proper by adding this alif lam in the start. And last but not the least, when we attach alif lam in the start, then ism cannot have tanween. Tanween means 2 harakat, either 2 dhamma, 2 fatha, or 2 kasra. Okay, so alif lam and tanween, they will not go side by side. If we have alif lam, you must not have tanween. Okay, look at the example. Muslimun, a Muslim. It is common. If you make it alif, if you attach alif lam, it become al muslimu. Now it is proper. And you can see Muslimun has tanween, but al muslimu has no tanween at the end. One more example. Hamdun, praise, is common. Alhamdu, the praise. Now it has become proper. So if any ism has alif lam in the start, which is called lamu ta'arif, this ism becomes proper. Second, specific names or ism alam. It's very commonsensical. The specific names of either person or places, they are always proper. Okay. All pronouns which we call in Arabic damair, inshallah we see them in few minutes. All pronouns are proper. Why? Common sense. Because when you use pronoun, you are referring to a specific person or a specific object. That's why pronouns are proper. Okay. So 3 categories so far. 4th category, all pointing words. Inshallah, we'll study pointing words in module 2. But for now, just remember this much, that pointing words are always proper. What is pointing word? In English, we know this, that, these, those. All of these are pointing words, and they are always proper. Al-asma al-mawsula. Inshallah, we'll study them later on. But for now, just for the sake of simplicity, you read in the Quran, Allazi, which means the one who, which is singular. Allazina, those who. And this is plural. All asma al-mawsula are always proper. Number 6, the one being called. You know, when you call someone in Arabic, you say, Ya Fulan, for example, Ya Muhammad, Ya Ahmad, Ya Walad. So when you're calling someone, the one who is being called, in Arabic, we use the word for him, munada. The one being called is called munada, and the one who is calling is called munadi. Inshallah, don't worry, we'll learn them later on. For now, I'm just telling you that munada, the one being called, is always proper. Look at the example. If I say, if I simply say waladun, which means a boy. If I say ya waladu, oh boy, now I am calling to a specific boy. So in this case, waladu will become proper. Okay. Last but and not the least, if mudaf ilay. What is mudaf ilay? Inshallah, module 2 will cover this topic. For now, for the sake of simplicity, remember mudaf ilay means the possessor. If possessor is proper, mudaf, which means object of possession, will also be proper. Let me clarify this one with example. Allah's house. Who is the possessor in this sentence? Obviously Allah. Okay. House is the object of possession. Now, normally, if you simply say house, it is common. But in this case, because Allah and house, they are together, and because Allah is the possessor and Allah is proper, because of this reason, house will become proper as well. Okay. So these are the 7 categories. If ism falls in any of these 7 categories, it will be a proper ism. Elsewise, ism will be common. Okay. So this was the 4th property, and alhamdulillah, with this we have completed our module 1. Okay. Again, inshallah, as I always say this, in the description I will attach this presentation. Inshallah, you can read these categories again. If you have any question, you can always ask me, inshallah. So now, like I said in the start, now after completing these 4 properties, let me introduce you with 2 very small topics before we end this lesson and we end this module 1. But remember, 4 properties have been completed. Now, how to recognize ism through sight? Obviously, as a beginner student, we don't have much vocabulary. Not a problem, inshallah. We'll build our vocabulary. But for now, I'm gonna give you 5 hints. Inshallah, listen them carefully and keep them in your mind. They will help you to spot ism from the Quranic text. Number 1, as we just studied, if any word has alif lam in the start, which is called lamut ta'arif, which makes the ism proper, this is the sign that this word is ism. Clear? Secondly, word with a kasra. Kasra means there. Okay. If any word end with kasra, this is a clear sign that this word is ism. Examples: Rabbi, master; Maliki, honor; Mali, wealth. All of these are the examples of ism. All of the examples are that this word is ism. Why? Because it ends with kasra. Number 3, sign number 3, all words having tanween. If any word has tanween, tanween means 2 harakat at the end, either 2 dhamma, 2 fatha, or 2 kasra. Word ending with tanween is a clear sign that this word is ism. Example: qalamun, a pen. Okay. This one, I think that the typal mistake. So okay, this one is actually mentioned here. No problem. Qalamun, a pen. You can see it's end with tanween. It's ism. Rajulun, a man. You see it end with tanween, 2 dhammas. It's a ism. All words ending with ta marbuta or round ta. If any word end with the round ta, which is called ta marbuta, this is a sign that this word is ism. Example: Laylatun, a night; mercy; Rahmatun, mercy. You see this ending with ta marbuta, ending with ta marbuta. Salatun, ending with the round ta. So any word that ends with the round ta, it's a sign, it's a ism. Okay. Last category, all words ending with alif ta, not just ta, not just alif, alif and ta together. For example, ayatun, or it could be ayatu without tanween. Okay, you see alif and ta at the end, it's a sign this word is ism. Bayyinatun, okay, you see this atun, it could be bayyinatu as well, by the way. With tanween, without tanween, it doesn't matter. The main sign is if it has alif and ta at the end, this is a sign that this word is ism. Inshallah, these 5 signs will help you to spot ism from the Quranic text. Inshallah, at the end of this lesson, I will show you that how to use them. Okay, let me complete the last topic of today's lesson. And what is that? The concept of pronouns. In Arabic, we call them dama'ir. Singular is damir and plural is dama'ir, and which means simply pronouns. In Arabic language, there are 2 types of pronouns. One of them are called independent pronouns. In Arabic, ad-damair al-munfasila. Munfasila. Singular is damir munfasil. Okay. And plural is munfasila. Okay. Now, second category is attached pronoun or damair muttasila. Muttasil means something is attached, and munfasila means something is separate, independent. Okay. Now, what is independent? Those pronouns which stand alone, which means they are not attached to another word. Simple sign. Inshallah, I'll show you in a minute. Wait a second. And these are the 2 points you need to remember, that independent pronouns are always rafa. You remember, because pronouns are ism. Don't forget this. Okay. And ism could be rafa, nasab, and jar. But you need to remember that independent pronouns are always rafa. Okay. And they are always proper. Clear? What about the attached pronouns? Attached pronouns are those, they don't come on their own, rather they are attached with the word. Sometimes attached with the ism, sometimes attached with the fail, sometimes attached with the harf. But they are always attached with some word. They don't come on their own. They don't come as standalone. Okay, by default. Now, what is the status of attached pronouns? They could be nasab, they could be jar. How to distinguish, inshallah, we'll learn that later. At this stage, remember that attached pronoun, in terms of their status, they could be nasab, they could be jar. Okay. And lastly, they are also proper. So both of them are proper. No difference in that. Only difference is independent ones are in rafa status and attached ones are in nasab or jar status. Clear? Independent ones come on their own, and attached ones, they come as attachment with the word. Now let me show you this chart of pronouns, which inshallah, what I will suggest to you. First of all, let me explain the chart for you. How is chart constructed? Understand it conceptually. Read it once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. Inshallah, if you read it 5, 6 times, it will picture in your mind as an image. And then inshallah, we are going to use this in almost every single coming lesson. So inshallah, it's not a blind memorization. At this stage, conceptualize this chart, read it again and again, just to be familiar with the chart. Inshallah, when we apply this one, it will automatically, naturally, you will memorize this as well. Okay. Now, first of all, the structure of the chart. As you can see, let's look at these lines first. So it has mainly in the text, it has 3 columns: singular column, pair column, and plural. Why? Because every pronoun is an ism, and ism has these 3 versions. Okay. Look at this side now. Okay, first look at this side. As we know, pronouns are third person, second person, and first person. Third person means if somebody is absent, we call that third person. If somebody is in front of you, it means it is second person. If you talk about yourself, it is about first person. So first part of this chart is third person, second part is second person, or middle part is second person, and last part is first person. So this side is clear. Now look at this side. Each of, for example, third person has 2 lines, masculine line and feminine line. This middle part, second person, has also 2 lines, masculine line and feminine line. As far as the first person is concerned, it is 1 line for both masculine and feminine. Now look at the chart. Hua. Hua means he. Clear? He, but masculine, obviously, and singular. He. Okay. Huma. Huma means there are 2 persons and they are absent. Why? It's third person and they are masculine. And whom means they. Okay, so huwa, huma, whom. He, in a loose sense, you can say two he's, and whom mean they. In feminine, hiya means she. Huma, it is same. Either two masculine or two feminine, it is same. Huma. Huma mean two he's or two she's as well. Okay. And hunna mean they. But this time hunna is female they. Okay. And whom means male they. So this is third person part. Clear? Now the middle part. Okay. Second person part. Okay. Anta, you, single male you. Antuma, two yous, masculine. Okay. Antum, all of you, masculine. Anti, you see, male was anta and female is anti. Okay. You, one female. Antuma, it is same. Middle part is same. Okay. Antuma, two yous, female. Antunna, all of you, but female. Antum was all of you male and antunna, all of you female. Now, the last part about our own self. Ana, I. Nahnu, we. And as you can see, there's no three. It is only singular and plural. Okay. Now, how to memorize this chart? Look at the sequence. Huwa, huma, hum. Hiya, huma, hunna. Anta, antuma, antum. Anti, antuma, antunna. Ana, nahnu. Clear? In this way, huwa, huma, hum. Hiya, huma, hunna. Anta, antuma, antum. Anti, antuma, antunna. Ana, nahnu. In this way, first of all, understand the structure of the chart. It's very simple, inshallah. And then memorize in the sense that read it 5, 6, 7 times. Inshallah, it will picture as an image in your mind. And after you will implement this, inshallah, you will be good with this. So this was our independent pronoun chart. Remember, we have pronoun as two versions, independent and attached. Now let's look at the attached one, which inshallah will be not a problem for you now because you got the concept. So as far as structure is concerned, same structure. Look at the middle part. You remember this was huwa. In its attached version, huwa becomes who. Huma, it remains huma. Whom, it remains whom. Now hiya becomes what? Ha. Difference, okay? Huwa becomes who, hiya becomes ha, and rest of the two are same. Clear? Now the middle part, second person part. This was our independent anta, antuma, antum, anti, antuma, antunna. Now look at the attached version of this middle part. Ka, kuma, kum. Ki, kuma, kunna. Clear? The middle version. So this was the middle version of independent. Okay, and this is the middle version of attached. Last one, this was our independent, which we looked before. Ana and nahnu. Now look at the attached version of ana and nahnu. Ana becomes ni or ye. Okay, and nahnu becomes na. Clear? Now this is my suggestion to all of you. After this video, as inshallah, in the description you can download this presentation and you can download the complete notes for this lesson as well for your reading. Once you have downloaded your presentation, from that presentation, read both of these two charts multiple times. Like I'm saying again and again, don't panic, okay? If you can't memorize this in this first attempt, no problem, inshallah. Like I said before, main thing is that you conceptualize these charts properly. Inshallah, they will be implemented on every single day. In this way, inshallah, in a natural way, you'll memorize them. Because I never recommend a blind memorization. Clear? So with this, alhamdulillah, we have completed our first module and all the topics which we wanted to cover in this module, they are completed. Now, as I said in the start, let me show you all of these things in a bit of implementation way in the Quran. Inshallah, you must be enjoying this. Okay, look at this one. Now, as you can see on the screen, and let me make it a bit bigger. This is our first surah of the Quran, Suratul Fatiha. Let me show you at least something about the how these things are being implemented. Look at this one. Alhamdu. Alhamdu. Okay. Now, if I ask you, is Alhamdu common or proper? You have the clear sign Alif Lam is attached here. You'll say it is proper. If I ask you, what is the status of Alhamdu, which we learned previously? Alhamdu is a singular ism. In case of singular ism, how you tell the status? You only look at the haraka of the last letter. As you can see, haraka of the last letter is Dhamma. You will say that Alhamdu, this ism Alhamdu is in Rafa status. Because in case of singular ism, Dhamma means Rafa, Fatha means Nasab, and Kasra means Jar. Very simple. So two properties clear. If I ask you, what is the gender of this ism Alhamdu? Very simple. We have learned the two categories of being feminine. Real feminine, obviously it's not real feminine. Because real feminine means it's a biological feminine. That's not the case. Second is fake feminine. It's not fake feminine either. Why? You can go back and read. It does not fall in any of the categories of fake feminine. So it will be masculine. And lastly, is it singular or pair or plural? Now, the sign of pair is very clear. Ani, there's no ani. Sign of plural, una, there's no una. So it is singular. That's how we understood all the four properties of this ism. Let me show you one more. Rabbi. Now, is it ism? How do I know? I just told you before. It ends with the kasra. If a word ends with kasra, it is ism. So Rabbi is ism. So clear? Now, what is the status? Rabbi, singular ism. And last haraka is kasra. And kasra means jar. Okay. Is it masculine or feminine? There's no sign of being feminine. So it's masculine. What is the type? Okay. Now, if you look in isolation, by the way, this Rabbi has no category of being proper. Okay. So you can say, just by looking at the Rabbi, by the way, you can say that this Rabbi looks like as if it is common. But I am not telling you at this stage that it is actually proper. But inshallah, I will tell you later on why it is within those 7 categories. Okay, but inshallah, I'll tell you later. And next thing is that is it singular, plural, or is it pair? Rabbi has no sign of being pair or plural. It will be singular. Clear? One more example. Ar-Rahmani, Ar-Rahimi. You see, Alif Lam in the start. Actual word was Rahman. You put Alif Lam, it becomes Ar-Rahman. So Alif Lam tells you it is ism. What is the status? Singular ism. Because of kasra, it is in jar status. Okay. What is the gender? Because it has no sign of being masculine. So as a word, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we don't ascribe any gender to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In terms of this word Ar-Rahman, this word Ar-Rahman is masculine. Okay. And lastly, it is singular. Why? It has no sign of being pair or plural. And same is the case with the Ar-Rahim as well. Because of Alif Lam, you know it is ism and it is proper because of Alif Lam, and it is singular and it is in jar status. Why? Because it has kasra. So in this way, I will advise all of you, do one thing for me, please. In Surah Al-Fatiha, number 1, spot all the isms. Number 2, identify the 4 properties of each one of them as I've just shown you. Inshallah, when I'll come back with tomorrow's next lesson in the start or maybe at the end, inshallah, I'll explain all of the ism in Al-Fatiha, and then you can check for yourself that how much of them you got right, and if there was some mistake, you can fix it. Okay. Until next, Jazakumullahu khair. Barakallahu fi. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.